Good morning, everyone. We have visitors coming today, a whole family. Yes, young couple of two children. And one of them happens to be a friend from my native country of Switzerland. So it'd be fun to speak Swiss German for a while. uh, so I got to get this going here because we got things to do. Yes. We had a huge storm here coming through, as probably some of you've seen. Quite a bit of damage was done in other places, South Carolina, North Carolina. Here, the storm just came through. One of the interesting things about the storm is it lasted all day long and just about part through the night. That's a long storm. Yes, some people think, I remember if I thought back all these years now, 21 years that we've been here in the mountains, and boy, I tell you what, storms can be pretty horrific or beautiful, and they last. They where we live on our farm. They come. You see them coming, and they move through, and within a relatively short time they have passed. Yes, okay, it can last for a few hours, but a whole day plus part of the night, I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay, not saying it didn't happen. It's just I can't remember a storm lasting that long. I mean, really, just continuously being a storm. And we had a lot of rain. Uh, Now it's like you wait for things to dry up a little bit so that then you can start, kind of raking up the leaves and the little branches. There's no big branch. We have huge trees here all around us. And not one big branch came down, not one, which is nice to know, yes. And, but there's little stuff needs to be cleaned up and, taken care of. So probably going to do some of that today. But again, we have visitors coming with children, so yeah, that'll be fun. And we'll let things dry out a little more. Get to it later. And yeah, of course, I've been praying for everyone out there and sustained damage. I haven't heard any loss of life. Uh, but there is damage out there. So, yes, well, it's a storm. We're the ones in the way of the storms. It's not like we don't know about storms. So, to be vigilant of our surroundings and to take good care of our surroundings, that when a storm like this comes through, there was only one thing that got blown around here a little bit or was misplaced, and that was a little toy that was is in on a little outside children's kitchen. Uh, that was the only thing, and it only flew a few feet, which to me was amazing, considering the storm. That was it. That was all. So things were pretty good secured here. Yes. Again, prepare as best as one can for unforeseen things or even things we know are coming, and to keep it going like that. Right? To stay vigilant around about our surroundings when certain things start to happen, and less damage than is has happened. Right? Yes. It's kind of the same with our faith. We have to stay vigilant to keep going that straight and narrow path that undoubtedly will lead to happiness. And if we veer off, what happens? Okay. Ah, anyway, thought that was a good little example. Okay, I got another leaf here again. Look at that. Put that in there. Okay, looks like a heart. Could be a red bud tree leaf. Yes, they look like hearts. The whole tree full of little hearts. That's cute, eh? All right, we're in the book of Job. 6. Only the sufferer knows his own grief. Job spoke next. 6. Okay, only the sufferer knows his own grief. Book of Job 6. Job spoke next. He said, if only my misery could be weighed, and all my ills be put together on the scales, but they outweigh the sands of the seas. What wonder then if my words are wild? The arrows of Shaddai stick fast in me. My spirit absorbs their poison. Okay. Oh, from the arrows. God's terrors stand paraded against me. Does a wild donkey bray when it has grass, or an ox low when its father is within reach? Is not food insipid, eaten without salt? Is there any taste in egg white? But the very things my appetite revolts at are now my diet in sickness. Will no one hear my prayer? Will not God himself grant my hope? May it please God to crush me, to give his hand free play and do away with me. All right, you know what? Obviously he was very sick, because this is like a whole fallible thing. So God's terrors stand paraded against me. The arrows of Shaddai, which also is God, stick fast in me. My spirit absorbs their poison. But then it says here, will not God himself grant my hope? Can it be both ways? This is very difficult to understand. I mean, no, I understand it. It's very difficult for me to understand. Job. Oh, wait a minute. This is just a masterpiece of poetry, okay? It doesn't really matter. It's someone else wrote this down. Someone who wasn't sick. Someone who didn't lose everything. So basically, these are just assumptions on how someone will deal with, yes, oh, God and Satan fighting with each other over people. I'm going to try and find the lesson in all this eventually. I was kind of excited to get into the book of Job. I didn't actually not even realize. I've heard the story of Job enough times. I read the book of Job, not the whole book, but I read parts of this story. Again, as Rima, let's just open the books. But here now I'm reading it one little chapter after another, and I'm going, I didn't know this was all in there too. It usually just speaks of what? That first part. So, here come. Oh, you're home. Wait a minute. It's 7:30.
What?
Aren't you going to school?
It's spring break.
It's spring break.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I missed it. How could I miss that?
I didn't have power all weekend.
You didn't have power because of the storm?
I lost power on Friday.
Oh my gosh, you should have asked Dad to bring you home. No, we wanted to stay with Dad anyway. So was it fun? Did you guys play some games, do some other stuff?
Yeah, we played board games.
Oh, did you?
We had a bunch of candles.
So it was fun, just like it would be at the farm.
And whenever somebody went into the bathroom, they'd start humming the Harry Potter theme song. Like take a candle.
Oh, you put on earring. I love it. That looks good.
Also, Hannah.
I want one like
so
that.
You know how I pulled a muscle?
Yeah.
Well, Hannah tried to pick up my dad and pulled a muscle in the back of her knee.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, so she's limping.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm in the middle of my Bible reading, but I'm almost done. Do you want to sit and?
No.
No.
How hard did you guys get hit by rain? pretty hard.
Pretty hard. We got quite a few inches of rain here, but as you can see out there, we haven't really cleaned anything up.
Yeah,
We
2
didn't.
trees fell over. No, 3 fell over right by my house. Like
At
big
your dad's,
ones.
at your
Too.
dad's house. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing happened here.
Like big trees.
Wow.
And all the people that were on my street, plus a couple of other streets, lost power all weekend. So.
Yeah, they didn't have power at the farm either.
No.
But we have that generator, so. Well. Hey. You know we have visitors coming today. Maya and her family are coming.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's Maya? Who is that?
She's been here before, I'm pretty sure.
Maya.
She's one of my friends from Switzerland.
Maya and who?
Philip.
Maya and Philip. Do they speak Swiss?
Only Maya. Philip is an American.
Well, can Maya also speak English?
Of course. Very well, too.
Okay.
Well, listen, I'm going to continue on here. Anywho,
Okay.
I'll be over, but I want to play that game with you today.
Yes.
See, you got me interested, and then you just kind of diddle-diddle-doobie-doo, weren't even around. It's good to see you back, honey. I love you.
Love you. Come on.
Okay, let's keep on going here. My girl is back. This thought, at least, would give me comfort, a thrill of joy in unrelenting pain, that I never rebelled against the Holy One's decrees. But have I the strength to go on waiting? And why be patient when doomed to such an end? Is mine the strength of stone? Is my flesh made of bronze? Can I support myself on nothing? Has not all help deserted me? Refuse faithful love to your neighbor, and you forsake the fear of Shaddai. Like the torrent, my brothers have proved deceptive. As fleeting torrents they flow, the ice makes their waters turgid. Never heard that word, turgid. Turgid? Turgid. When above them the snow melts, but come the burning summer, they run dry. They vanish in the heat of the sun. Caravans leave the trail to find them, go deep into wastelands and are lost. The caravans of Tema look to them, and on them Sheba's convoys built their hopes. Their trust brings only embarrassment. They reach them only to be thwarted. Ooh. I wonder if other people realize what I'm realizing, or how I understand this, and how Job's really veering off his own problems here now, right? And it almost feels like, now, Job, were you really such a God-fearing man? And, yeah? Or did he have some deep-seated resentment for a long time? Even though, yes? All right. What did I say? Whoever wrote this down and used Job, right? Yes, as someone tried to kind of use my father-in-law. I said that in just a recent video. Job's a fictional character that is just being used as an example. Yes, but never, as I said, never really existed. And someone else just kind of is letting okay, what is coming through here now? A very, to me, a deep-rooted resentment that was there for a long time, on where God is actually being accused of not having been there, and on how foolish it is for people to continue to believe. Was this written down by an atheist? Ooh, interesting. I'm just saying, not saying that's what it was, but that's what it sounds like to me. And this is how you now treat me, terrified at the sight of me. You take fright. Have I said to you, give me something, make some present for me at your own cost? Snatch me from the grasp of an oppressor, ransom me from the grip of a violent man. What are his brothers, his friends, supposed to do here? They do come and say, well, why are you talking the way you're talking? Can we tell you? He's not, the comfort's actually, okay, again, according to the story, on what we have read, the comfort is there from the friends, and he rejects it. Yes? So what about there? So they were his friends, but were they really his friends? Did he really regard them as his friends? Or there too is this resentment. Yes? So was Job really such a happy man? Or kind of a disgruntled one, regardless on how much he had, how well he was doing? Okay, or whoever wrote this down. Yes? I don't know. Okay, good then. Snatch me from the grasp of an oppressor, ransom me from the grip of a violent man. Put me right, and I shall say no more. Show me where I have been at fault. Ooh. Fair comment can be borne without resentment, but what are your strictures aimed at? Do you think mere words deserve censure? Desperate speech that the wind blows away. Soon you will be haggling over the price of an orphan and selling your friend at bargain price. Ay. Come, I beg you, look at me. Man to man, I shall not lie. Relent then, no harm is done. Relent then, since I am upright. Is evil to be found on my lips? Can I not recognize misfortune when I taste it? Well, yeah, we can recognize misfortune, but how is he relating the taste of that? I found in my life, and most people that I have come across regarding them as friends, this now, when certain things strike, we regard them as lessons. I regard them as lessons. Not suddenly then where I need to go and find someone to blame for it. He's calling himself here, probably the dude who wrote this down, not Joe, as an upright person. Yeah? Then why not continue with that? Why suddenly, as an upright person, finding fault in everything that's around him? Yes? Because something's not going his way. And everybody's being pulled into it. I find this, okay, I have to say, I find this 6 here very interesting. Oh, and that was the end of 6. Can I not recognize misfortune when I taste it? Is it misfortune, really? Surely by then, at that time when this was written down by someone, it was already well known that people don't live forever. You will be passing away. You will be passing on after a relatively short time. Did people at that time kind of believe that, okay, that there is no continuation after life? It doesn't talk a whole lot about that, does it? Not that I remember right now. But considering that they're having give and take with God and angels at one point or another, they must know that there is something after life, right? Yes? Well, anyway. Uh, hmm. Another interesting thing, too, that I find when people are really sick, say with a very debilitating cancer, they're not easy to give up life, right? Yes, it's amazing on how many people out there with debilitating diseases like cancer, certain other things, don't give up. They don't give up. They're not saying, well, you know what, I'm suffering. And they suffer. They really, truly suffer. To have to see someone go through chemo or the pain that goes with when suddenly your insides start to not function properly anymore. It's a painful sight. And the people that go through it are going through all that because they have hope to survive. I admire these people very much. I also admire the ones who say, I'm going to make the best out of the rest of my life, right? And maybe, choose another treatment option or whatever, however they choose. But most people that I've met that were very truly sick never lost hope. Were not willing to give in and fight for their life. Yes? Yes. Anywho, that's about all that I have to share to this right now. It's just interesting to read this, and as I read 6 here now, whereas before I've already wondered, someone else wrote this down. Someone wrote this down who needed a second person to be the main character in this story, rather than themselves being open about how they felt about how things were out there. Yes? Yeah. And as I'm talking here as well, I think, was it also kind of a little bit of a plea, and to show on how mankind has so abused God's guidance, right? So again, I can understand this wondering and go, my gosh, what's wrong with this person? To look at things in such dire straits and then blame everything. I'm a good person. I've done everything right, and yet I'm being treated like such an outcast. Yes? Or, in another sense, what's wrong with the people out there to have so little faith that things then have gone so out of hand? And the taste that then talks about here at the end is the taste of pain that one sees mankind doing to itself. Yes. Oh, she's come. I gotta go play games now. Sorry, guys. Anywho, we'll read more. We'll see what else comes up. But there's one little story that I wanted to tell down here. I've said before. My mom told us this story when my mom saved every crumb from the table and put it in a little jar and then fed it to the birds, from bread and stuff. And I asked her one time, I said, Mom, why do you do that? Most people just swipe everything off the table and put it in a garbage can. And she said, I tell you a story that I heard when I was a child. There was a man, lived upright, did everything right, stuck to the 10 Commandments, was helpful, kind, passed away. A good man, a very, very good man, passed away. And instead of going to heaven, he went to hell. He was surprised. What happened? I did everything. I lived my life to the best of my knowledge according to God's will. Why am I in hell? And the shadow in the cave that he was in pointed to a corner of the cave, and there was a mountain of breadcrumbs that he carelessly had thrown away. My mom says, rather than throwing them in the garbage, I'm throwing them out to the birds to feed our leftovers to part of God's creation and the principles of creation. Taught me to do the same. All right, that's all I have to share this morning. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you and embrace you with love. And I will, God willing, talk to you all tomorrow.